All right, Hunter, victory Monday. First time in a few weeks you guys have gotten to play. Just kind of how's the team feeling that big win on Monday or Saturday?
I think we're still excited about it. I think the biggest thing is we know we got another opponent to play this week. So while we are glad to get the victory, we also know that we got another tough opponent in our eyes coming in, and so we got to start preparing for that. These victories, while you can savor them and enjoy them, they are about a 24-hour window for you to do that. And, for our players, at least for us as a coaching staff, it's about a 10-hour, 12-hour time frame, and then you start working on the next team. So very excited to get the win. It's a good football program there at Angelo State. Coach Kirst does a great job with them, and very competitive. And he and I talked before the game, and our games, it seems, are always going to be very competitive, and that's what you look for.
This is going to be an odd season, as you said, unusual with the COVID going on. You guys are right now only scheduled for 8 games, as it turns out, and twice against Angelo this season, and you beat them in the rematch, and I guess you got some sort of measure of revenge, and you got to feel good about that. How much do you think that sort of validates what you guys are doing this season, getting a win over a team like that is a conference opponent, as far as what it does for you going forward? Do you think the guys are maybe feel that much more invested in things right now after winning a game like that? It shows just what a quality football team you guys are.
Well, like the whole thing from the first time we played them to this last time was our growth as a team, and the mistakes we made in that first game, how we were going to overcome those and learn from those mistakes, and to be able to come out there and play the way we did with the energy and enthusiasm, which I don't think we had in the second half, especially the first time we played them. I think that hurt us, and I think that they had a lot of that energy and enthusiasm because it was their first game, and they were chomping at the bit, getting ready to come out and play. So I think moving forward, as long as we have a game to play and we can compete on Saturday, I think our players will be excited to get out there and be a part of practice and be a part of the way we want to do things. So it's always good to get a big win against a conference opponent, even though it's not a conference opponent for this year. There's no conference championship, but the good quality team, and it just shows our guys what they're capable of. We just got to keep working and continue to get better because the same type caliber teams are coming in down the schedule.
Coach, what was the difference between the first quarter when you guys weren't able to score and kind of you're able to get that lead before halftime? What was the difference, I guess, in the offense between the first and second quarter?
The wind was difficult to deal with from one part of it, but I think just settling in and Coach Bassett was the guy calling plays because of Coach Martin's absence, and there might have been a little difference in the approach and waiting for their players to see how Coach Bassett would call it and how it would go. And just a feeling out process, and sometimes you got to do that. And Coach Bassett was on the spot, and I thought he handled it extremely well. And they got in a rhythm, got in a groove, and it just took time to see exactly what they were doing to us defensively. I mean, we lost a good set of eyes up there. Coach Martin does a great job of knowing what's coming and calling plays. Coach Bassett was down on the field, and we had to get that perspective from our grad assistants and assistants up in the box. And I think once we got that feel, everything started to run smoothly. And so I don't think it was anything that they weren't excited to play or weren't ready to play. I just think it was a feeling out process that you go through. And I think once they got comfortable and once we understood what was going on, you saw what we were capable of doing.
Hunter, talk about the defense. A few weeks ago after Stephen F. Austin, you talked about disappointed in the defense because you weren't forcing turnovers, but you get 3 this week, include pick 6. So just talk about your defensive performance.
Well, defensively, I've always been a guy that's never cared about yards given up. It's always about points on the board at the end, and we gave up a lot of yards, and we gave up a lot of points, to be honest with you. And that still hurts a little bit. But to see the pick 6, in all honesty, the blitzing linebacker had the wrong angle on that play, and if he comes at the right angle, it might be a forced fumble and picked up and returned for a touchdown the way he was coming. But it worked out our way for that. We get he comes in and he kind of spins quarterback and the ball floats and Satchel's able to take it. I was happy to see guys leading him down the way. And because if Chris Thomas is in there blocking, then I don't think he scores. I think the guy has an angle on him. And then, Aubrey, he got the pick at the end and he was trying to make something happen and he got halfway there. That's a long way to go now. When you're coming from the goal line, to go 50 yards is good, but, to take it 100 to be, that's special. But he just didn't have the room to do that. But I think one of the biggest keys in the game was when we had the turnover and Nick threw the pick. I thought the ball should have been caught by Devin. It wasn't. I thought their defensive guy, I guess, got his hand up in there, and they get the pick and they try to bring it out, and then Tyree Tipton does a heck of a job, not only going to make the tackle but stripping the ball out. And that's something that Brandon Blair, right after that happened, he came up to me and said, "Coach, that's that LSC drill we do, and you do that. You make our offensive guys do that. And part of that drill is we do a strip drill with our defensive guys, and our offensive guys protecting the football. And then when we're done with our defensive guys stripping the ball, we flip and put our offense on there. And we always tell them, you never know when that opportunity is going to come. And I'm not saying that's why it worked, but we do practice that type of thing. But Tyree made a heck of a play, and to be a freshman to make a play like that, I think Tyree's going to be a very special player for us. I was disappointed in some of the defensive. We missed some tackles we should have had. We had one opportunity where we could have had him 3rd and 12, and they ended up scoring because we go to the wrong hip and we dive at ankles and just little things. I want a more physical game out of our defense, especially from the outside, from the corners and from the safeties, finishing tackles and making plays. So, but I'll tell you what, I'll give up 447 yards as long as we win the game. I can live with that.
Can you talk about the development of Tyree? Because obviously watching him at Lubbock Monterey, we could see the explosiveness and the athleticism, but how has he just developed as an overall player since being on campus?
Well, I think he's a competitor first. And I think he was out here in the summer and he didn't want to sit around and be redshirted and wait on anything. He wanted to step out and make a name for himself. And he started doing that during our voluntary workouts and going out there with Nick and the quarterbacks and the other receivers. And he was hungry and he wanted to learn. And it just continued to go into as we started, not necessarily fall camp, but got moving on into when we started practice, when school started. He just kept showing up. And, you look at his size and he's probably 5'9", maybe 5'9", probably weighs about $160 tops, but he just competes. He wants to go out there and he wants to be successful. And he competes in everything he does, whether it's on the field in football or off the field in his academics. So I you got to give a lot to him for his desire and his drive just to come out here and not sit on the sideline and watch, but to be an active participant in everything we're doing.
Talk about the team stepping up. You had 20 guys out for COVID, and then you used to come out to put a performance like that. Just the team, the next up mentality.
Well, I mean, everybody says next man mentality, next guy up, all that kind of stuff. And but that's really how you got to operate, especially in this year. You have to be able to adapt, whether it's a coach, whether it's a player, whatever position it is. And we practice our guys to do that. We're going to practice a lot more of young guys this week because, you never know what's going to happen this week. We could get hit with that again, and we're still going to play our game. And I think that's part of it. Even though we lost 20 guys, when I sat down with Michael McBroom on Friday, he said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Well, we're going to play." And, this is great opportunity and great experience for our guys to face adversity and see what kind of character they have. we'll just go out there and just have as much fun as we can and be energetic and roll with it. And that might be the case again this week. You know, those 20 guys still aren't coming back, and we could possibly lose more. I know we're not gaining anymore, so we could possibly lose more. But you know, that's the way we preach around here. You know, you never know when you're going to get called upon to and step out there, and you have to be mentally and physically prepared for it. And I think we've got a lot of guys that are physically prepared, and it's our job as coaches this week to get them more mentally prepared. And you know, sometimes that's scaling back what you do and keeping it as simple as you can, so those guys can play fast and play hard, and so they're not thinking out there. So it's a burden on us as a coaching staff to make sure that we have or know our personnel in the game and make sure that we put them in a spot to be successful. And then our players just go perform, and that's all we ask them to do.
North America, and I guess they're not as prominent, I guess, a program as what you guys have faced so far this year. Is it scouting and getting ready for a team like them? Is it kind of difficult when you don't really know a whole lot about somebody like that? You're sort of blind about them. What have you kind of been able to find out about them as far as what you got to look out for on Saturday?
Well, you know, they're a new program, and I've been part of new programs starting off, and they're hungry. And, you know, they're based out of Houston, so I know they're in a great recruiting area. There's a lot of talent down that way. And, you know, well, they're trying to get themselves known. And a game like this is probably circled on their schedule, very similar to their Super Bowl, you know, because it's an opportunity for them to establish themselves. I told our team this morning, you know, whether you're a new coach coming in or whether you're starting a program, you look for that signature win to help jumpstart your program. And I think Coach Aponde down there, that's what he's looking for. I think this could be a stepping stone for them. And we've got film on them. They've played 3 games, and they got some talent, you know, especially in the skill positions. And so they can come out and they can surprise you and they can beat you. And, you know, that's why you play on Saturday. And, you know, we've been underdogs before and come out with a win. And, you know, we could play that team 99 times again and lose all 99, but it's that one Saturday, it works out for you. So, I mean, while not knowing and not seeing as much film or understanding who they are, I think that adds a little bit of intrigue to it. And, you know, to me as a coach, to my assistant coaches, hey, you know, let's take a quarter to see exactly what they have. I know what they're going to run. We've seen the film, but the film is kind of different to see them in person and see the speed and see how actually big they are and how fast they move. So I'm expecting a good. They look well coached on film. Don't make a lot of mistakes with penalties or anything like that. And so I'm excited to get them up here, and I know they're excited to come up here and play. And it's going to be a fun atmosphere. I mean, it's Halloween. There's going to be a lot of things going on for kids. I think kids are 5 and under are free this week, and there's going to be trick or treating and bags of candy and glow sticks and things going on outside of the football game that we want to try to get the entire community out here to support our football program, but also to show that this university supports our community as well, to get them out here. And they're trying to encourage me to dress up. They said all staff to dress up for the game. I don't know exactly what that means, but could be a little maybe Al Pacino, or I don't know what the heck I'm going to do, but I'm just going to try to be as fun and energetic as I was last week and go have fun on Halloween and hopefully come out with a win. Any suggestions for you guys for me and the coaches to be for Halloween? That's what's going to be funny.
First off, yeah, I was getting ready to say that if we don't get your Al Pacino Any Given Sunday outfit, that'd be I feel like that's robbery to us. But my question is, obviously we already talked about kind of next man up for when it comes to players, but how much of a relief is it that, I mean, it was next man up when it came to an offensive coordinator, and it's got to be at least a little bit of a relief knowing that you've got a pretty solid backup OC if you ever need them.
Yeah, and I think talking to Coach Bassett when all this came out, I joked with him at first. I said I told him Thursday night instead of waiting till Friday, so he could get some sleep Friday night and not sleep Thursday night. I wanted him to get some sleep before the game. But I just went in and told him, I said, hey, you've been around a lot of good programs and you've been around a lot of good coaches. So take what they've given you, but you've got to put your own spin on this. This has got to be who you are. Because if you try to be somebody else, it's not going to be real. And you're going to keep digging for things and look back and say, man, but if it was mine or, that's what I told you, just be you. And you go out and do what you do. I said, I'm behind you 100%. That's why I put you in this position. And, I'll handle all the details in which I normally do anyways. And like, hey, I'll tell you way beforehand when we're going to go for it on fourth down. I'll tell you when we're, going to do something crazy, when we're going to go for two. But you just call the game like you would call it. And I thought he did a heck of a job doing that. And I thought he was, I think he only lost his composure, if that's the case, one time. But he was hard on himself. And I just said, hey, move on. And he did. And we didn't have any issues. And I think that's, for a guy that he wants that opportunity, and that's going to be look good. And now I'm going to have to do everything I can to keep him, because I think he did that great of a job, and he's going to be able to do it again this week and show what he's capable of. And in the coaching world, when you get that opportunity, it literally is like an internship for that position in any other job. And when you get that opportunity to make those calls and do those things, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of the younger guys that work with him, the GAs and Coach LeMay that out there, and because they stepped up as well. And so as Coach Bassett, it's like this: I get a lot of credit when we win, and get on me when we lose, but I don't do anything. Those guys, Coach Morris calls the defense, Coach Martin calls the offense, like Coach Bassett did this week. And it's all those guys underneath them that are a vital part of what we do that don't get the credit that's deserved of them. And it's good to see Coach Bassett get that.